pregame.com, School of Rock. He is Roch Kubatko. Roch, I don't know about you, but it sure does feel good in this climate control studio right here.
Why do you guys always segue? Was it brilliantly boring or something? And now here's Roch Kubatko, speaking of which.
Well, you know, we
Appreciate
wouldn't,
that.
well, it's not a segue. We wouldn't say brilliantly.
Hey, 1 out of 2. I'll take it. Batting 500.
Bryan Baker traded to the Tampa Bay Rays early. Here's a guy who we didn't even know whether he was going to make the roster out of spring training. And now the Orioles get the number 37th pick, making a draft for him.
What a crazy year it's been for him, right? We're not even really halfway through it, but he was in shock for sure, and it was fresh because we were allowed in the media right after the news broke. The team hadn't even announced it yet, but he had gotten word that he had been dealt, and I think teammates were in shock. I know beat writers were surprised just because we tend to focus on the guys in the expiring contracts. This is a guy under team control through 2028, even though he's out of minor league options. But, you know, it made sense for both sides. And the Rays get a high-leverage, controllable reliever for multiple years who's from Florida, so we know he can stand the heat, and had 3 straight scoreless appearances at Steinbrenner Field earlier this year. And the Orioles get that 37th overall pick that they coveted. This comes across kind of as an exception, I think, as the trade deadline approaches. Mike Elias really made it clear that most likely, if they're still selling, and right now they still have a foot in buyer territory here. I think there's 6.5 out now for that last wild card, but it's more likely to be guys on expiring contracts. But with Baker, the Rays made an aggressive offer, and the draft is coming up Sunday, so it's not like you can really sit on it. It was an aggressive offer that the Orioles really liked, and it's like you got to strike now. So it did feel like an exception. And Rob, you know, Baker's a great guy.
He is.
Very popular in that clubhouse.
I love him. One
of the leaders, very intense, and a great media guy. We hate to lose those. I mean, we had to resist the urge to grab him by the leg as he was walking out. So we're gonna definitely miss him. We'll see him soon when we go to Tampa. But definitely one of the really good guys in the game. And it's nice to see the way his career has really turned around. He said the Orioles have meant everything to him, and I know he meant it.
You know, at least he gets back in the pennant race as well.
Right.
Some of the best acquisitions on his team could be guys who are already signed, and that's starting pitchers who are on the IL.
Yeah, could get a little crowded, but I'm hesitant to say that because every time I think they're going to be tough roster decisions, somebody else gets hurt. But you look at right now, you know, Bradish and Wells are in Florida, and Bradish is facing live hitters, and Wells is going to do it soon, and Eflin starts a rehab assignment Sunday, we're told, and Grayson Rodriguez has been throwing bullpens and mixing in the breaking stuff, and Kate Povich saw a hip specialist get a second opinion, and things look good there. It looks like he could be close to a rehab assignment. You know, Tomo Sagano, right now, the trade value, if we're actually looking to possibly move him, is down the way he's been struggling, but it's up with Charlie Morton. You talked about him earlier, and you've got Brandon Young and Dean Kramer and Trevor Rogers, who I don't think are going anywhere. So it has the potential after the break to get really crowded, and these are big pitching additions coming back. The problem is whether the Orioles are still in it enough here to make a run. I think that's what's been just so disappointed to people in the organization, is they've been projecting long-term all along. Hey, we're in this thing, and then we get all these big additions in the second half. We don't have to give up anybody. It's like trade deadline additions without making a trade. But if you're out of the race, then it doesn't mean as much. You know, Tyler Wells could go to the bullpen. Povich, they only had one lefty in the pen until Grant Wolfram showed up and gave 2 scoreless today. Maybe Povich is a bullpen guy if it gets too crowded, or it just sort of sorts itself out. But definitely the guys that have been hurt and you've been waiting on them, we haven't seen them, or we saw them a little bit and they left, they're working their way back. So all that is positive, but it could lead to some kind of tough decisions down the road.
Right, real quick answer. Can we see a world where Bradish gets back before Grayson?
Look, nothing would surprise me at this point. I would think it'd be Grayson, but, you know, again, he's throwing in the bullpen, and Bradish is facing hitters, live hitters, which is better than facing the dead ones. I feel like you get more feedback from the live guys. So he's going to be pretty close, I would think, then, to going an assignment. So maybe he does beat him here.
Oh, man, we're on the 6th-string catcher, and I heard they told you to do some stretching of the groin because you could be back there. This is almost a franchise record here.
It is. I mean, they have tied it right now, and it's happened 3 other times, and the last time was in 1986, and Rick Dempsey was the primary catcher. So we're going back a ways. So we're just waiting for that record to be broken. David Benuelos is here. and I don't know whether he's going to be staying, so he's going to have to make a roster move before Game 2. He could be designated again, but if he could have just gotten into Game 1, he would have been the record setter. This guy's been on taxi squad for so long. And, of course, Samuel Basayo is a guy we're assuming eventually will make his debut. So it seems like they are going to at least use 7. 4 on the IL now. You know, Gary Sanchez is out 8 to 10 weeks. It's going to be a while with him. Adley Rutschman, he's doing light hitting right now, so it's going to be a while with him. Who would have thought? I mean, it's just been crazy to have 4 guys on the IL. Now, I would think that's got to be some kind of a record. But, yeah, they are definitely going to break that franchise record. I assume confetti will fall on Utah Street, and they'll drape the number down the warehouse. It should be a pretty big deal. Invite back all the other catchers. Have Demper throw out the first pitch.
Hey, Roch, thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
You've been here a long time.